meeting of the Criminal Justice Committee to order. Start with roll call, please.
Mr. Hess?
Present.
Mr. Lowy?
Present.
Mr. Carrico? Mr. Swanson?
Present.
Mr. Long?
Present.
Mr. Hunter? Miss Andrade? Miss Armour Earps? Miss Monday? Miss Ripman Emmy? Miss Amber Turner? Mr. Marion? Mr. Crutcher? Mr. Nims? Miss Denise Turner? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Present.
Mr. Long?
We have a
We do
quorum.
have a quorum.
Before we get to public comment, first of all, I'd like to welcome all the new committee members here. You're going to hear things in here that you've never heard before. And reason we meet at 7:30, I had 2 questions asked me already. The reason we meet at 7:30 is all of these people are tied into the court system in one way or the other. The chief judge is always first. That way they can get out of here and they can make their court calls, public defender, state's attorney, everything like that. So that's why this meeting is held at 7:30 in the morning. So I have not received anything for public comment. Any public comment at this time? Any public comment? Go on to the approval of minutes for November 13th, 2024. Take a motion to approve by Mr. Carrico, second by Mr. Lowy. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Up next, Chief Judge. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I would also like to welcome the new board members, and my door's always open if you have any questions about the court system. The only thing that we can't talk about are pending cases, but if you have a question about the procedures or what we do at the courthouse, doors are open. I don't have a lot to report today. We did apply this week for another tech modernization grant. Sandy's not here today, but she's wants to digitize some of the older books, so there's a big chunk of money that we're requesting to do that, and then just some additional equipment for modernization of the courtrooms, and the I think the probation's got some money requested in that grant too, so we'll see how that goes. And then you should have received on the amended agenda, we'd like to declare some property surplus. It's some metal desks, some chairs, tables, organizing shelves, and AV cart. And these are pieces of furniture that were replaced when we did the renovation in the circuit clerk's office. So I'd like to get that approved today if we could.
We need a motion to make that. Mr. Hunter, second by Mr. Swanson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Any questions?
Hey, Mr. Hunter.
Pardon me. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Your Honor, I'd like to just compliment you on the activities, swearing-in activities last week. It was kind of unique in terms of all the judges being there, and there was actually standing room only. I don't know, it'd been kind of nice if we could have videotaped that, but I'm not sure if you do that. But it was kind of historic in terms of the diverse attendees, as well as when Colton was there. You know, he had his wife and baby, and I told him I should turn him into DCFS because you know, he should have had his little son up there because he was howling. He wanted to be with his daddy, but his wife had to go out when he actually was speaking. But I felt it tugged at my heartstrings. You and Justice O'Brien did a marvelous job, and I think you guys should probably attend some of those in the future. But it was really kind of unique, and some of the messages that you guys made was really heartwarming.
Yeah, thank you. We did swear in our county officers that were elected, and then myself for retention, and Marlo Jones, who is he ran for uncontested for a circuit judge position, and he won that position. He was sworn in as well. He had been appointed as a circuit judge for about a year prior to that. So we are full complement of judges, which is good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Okay, Miss Cianci is not here today. She's at a convention. I would like to make a comment, though. She's getting that report down.
Good job.
It's very nice. So if you look at the back page of hers, that will give you the total of what she's just had in distribution this month. So, but I take a motion to put that or approve that report. Mr. Lowry, second by Ms. Rittman-Emming. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Up next, State's Attorney, Mr. Rowe. In your package, you have a copy of his grand jury report and grand jury statistics report. Take a motion to combine and approve those. Ms. Monday, second by Ms. Andrade. Good morning, Jim.
Morning.
Comments on your report, sir.
So you can see we're up to, through the November 14th grand jury had charged 747 individuals for felony crimes to date this year. That number would have been probably a little higher. However, we were unable to hold our last grand jury due to absent grand jury members. So we didn't have enough to go forward. So those cases will be pushed over to the next grand jury. At the end of the year, so probably at the January meeting, I'll be able to give you some numbers in comparison over the last maybe 8 years of how these numbers have progressed. So you can see the trend. We've had some up years, down years, of course, but still, you know, I say this every meeting, the most concerning number on here is those cases under bodily harm. You've got 64 felony domestic battery, 64 agbat. Those are aggravated battery. Those are primarily crimes committed against our police officers, and the felony domestic battery, felony violation order of protection. Those, of course, are domestic violence crimes. And for the new members, what makes domestic a felony is it's either your second offense, so your second domestic charge. You have inflicted great bodily harm on the victim. That would also make it a felony, or strangulation in the course of that domestic battery. So it's a very serious and significant offense. And that number, unfortunately, has remained high, and maybe but for narcotic offenses, that has pretty much led the pack, unfortunately. So we've got still have a lot of work to do in our county on domestic violence.
Any questions? Ms. Andrade?
Do you know when the app will be updated to our new system?
Which app?
The one you have to like find our cases or all of that?
So that's actually through the circuit clerk's office.
Okay.
That is Tyler. I believe that the public portal is now available. I will email you the link to get in there.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Turner, use your microphone, please.
Sandy did send an email out about that last week.
Okay.
It should be live right now.
Yep.
Mr. Hunter?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Jim, you mentioned, today is what, Wednesday? Must have been yesterday or whenever, about the overdoses have gone down tremendously. I also had a conversation with Kankakee City yesterday with Chief Kidwell in terms of some of us in the community, in terms of the city, anytime there's an incident, I'm on the rapid response team, the vice president of NAACP, we get texts from the police chief about a crime. Let's say at 0800 at such and such an address, there were shots fired and so was apprehended. But anyway, it diffuses some of the BS that's on social media. We get the facts and data as opposed to what you hear in the community about so-and-so got beat up and the cops did this and they shouldn't have done this and that. It's kind of unique in which we get that information. But he was also talking about some of the bad folks that you guys have prosecuted are in jail. I won't give any names, but the twins and some other folks who commit a lot of crime, which make the numbers go up. I was wondering with respect to the overdoses, and I know Gessner's everywhere. You know, you guys are tied to the hip sometimes. I know you guys have been to the NAACP making presentations and a lot of different forums. What do you attribute the numbers going down?
I think a lot of the efforts of Coroner Gessner. You know, I'll let the top vote getter comment on that during his report, as he'll probably remind you of. But you know, I think that you know, his efforts from the top down, like I said yesterday. I mean, he's equipped law enforcement with Narcan, so they're out there, they're responding. I know that they're saving a lot of lives thanks to their efforts, and of course, Coroner Gessner giving them those tools.
You know, it was really interesting. They have that trailer. I think it's his trailer, in which they show you different hiding places for kids where they stash their dope. I said, man, that was kind of interesting. I gained some insight in terms of, you know, where you can, where the kids hide their stash, and that thing goes everywhere. So that's very informative.
You know, we borrowed that idea from HERO, Heroin Epidemic Response Organization. Coroner Gessner and I brought them to the county, I think in 2017 or 18, had them at a couple of the farmer markets. It went over really well. We had hoped to be able to bring one of those to the county at some point in the future, and the finances worked out because we got funding from the opioid lawsuits. So when those finally settled, we got some money which you have to use for drug prevention, and we thought that'd be a good investment.
Any other settlement money pending that we can utilize, that you and maybe Gessner and Sheriff, anything out there that...
Well, not so much the coroner and the sheriff, but I'm happy to use those funds. So those settlements are structured so it's a little bit of money every year for a lot of years.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll definitely help us, I think, make a dent.
And are you got your full complement of attorneys or not?
No,
I didn't think so.
no. Yeah, we have probably 2 openings right now, and we're starting to get the advertisements out for those jobs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, we haven't even voted on your,
Oh,
hang on.
hope it
Don't
passes.
get too big a hurry. Is there any other questions? Okay, we have a motion, a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Crutcher didn't vote. I don't know if you should note that. He didn't.
Oh, boy. Up next, Public Defender's Office, Mr. Pennewick. In your package, you have a copy of Ed's monthly report. Take a motion to approve that by Mr. Swanson, second by Mr. Lowry. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning.
Numbers look good.
Thank you. I have no specific comments. Any questions about the report?
Any questions on his report? You have a motion, a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I just want to repeat what the Chief Judge and Mr. Rose said. I welcome all new members who are here who may or may not know me. My door is always open. Come on in, call me, email me. If you have any questions about the office, I'll answer them quickly as I possibly can and give you any information you need. Other than that, I do want to wish everyone Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I don't think people realize what a good group of people we have in this county, and I don't know why, you know, I'm preaching to the choir, but it's really true, and I just, people in this county should be appreciative of all the efforts that we put forth, so that's my end of year proclamation, I guess. So other than that, I've got nothing else.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, probation, Mr. Latham. In the packs, you have a copy of Tom's monthly report. Take a motion to approve that. Mr. Carrico, second by Ms. Hemming. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
Comments on your report?
Just a few. As you can see, we have a little over 1,700 contacts last month. Puts us a little over 25,000 year to date. A little over 4,100 drug tests year to date. But obviously, next month I'll have the totals and how they can the yearly totals and how they compare to the past years as far as contacts, reports, drug testing, things like that, detention numbers. That's it.
Any questions on Tom's report? We have a motion, a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Nothing. Again, I'll also say to the new members, please contact me anytime. Be happy to answer any questions.
Do you have any final numbers on the drug court yet?
The drug court brought in about $2,000 more than last year.
Great.
So the numbers were down, but the money was up. So I guess that's a, very good thing. So yes.
Good, good, good.
And now since it goes to both the mental health court and drug court program, it's well needed, so.
We'll get a date and get that on the calendar for next year. It's a great time.
They might already have it. I'll get it probably for next month. They probably already have it out. The drug court auction? It's a fundraising auction they have every year that raises money for the drug court program and mental health court program now. All the treatment and all the client needs, different things like that. It's the only really fundraiser they have for the program, so it's very important. And outside of, we can get a grant, that's the only funding we have for that, for that program. So it's very important. It's a small auction, simple auction, but it's important. Yes.
Miss Monday.
It was fun, and it should be noted that you made all that money and Jim Rowe wasn't even there.
Oh.
I don't think he heard that because he didn't even respond.
Yeah.
Mr.
I'll
Hunter.
point it out to him again.
Yeah.
Tom, is there any way you give a brief synopsis of community service workers and how that works for the new members?
Yeah, we handle all the public service work ordered in the court. They come down. I think right now, as I looked at yesterday, we have about 570 open cases with about 80-something thousand hours on the books that's open right now. We assign the work sites. We keep track of all that. They get them to the work site. We collect all the time they do. We report it back to the court. It's a lot of work because some of these individuals have quite a few hours. So we have to track all that. Obviously, this time of year becomes a little trickier, because of the cold. We don't have as many work sites open. But yeah, so we have quite a few hours sitting out there, but we're coming up with alternatives in the winter to try to think of different. We anticipate that obviously some sites are going to close down, so we work on different things to try to.
I pose those questions because for the new members, some of our constituents pose questions to us, and we have to be in a position of knowledge and convey that information that, that stuff you hear in the street is not accurate. We get the information from the horse's mouth, like yourself, et cetera, because it's helpful. Our church, we're the oldest African American church in the county, and we're older congregation, and I think we've attempted to get some public service workers over there to help us. But it's a good program. Some of the CBO, community-based organizations, not-for-profits, can take advantage of that.
And our administrative assistant, she does a great job. We have other people that keep track of the sites. As some fall off, some come on. We double check the sites. We check the hours turned into us, which is a big deal. That's a lot of work. You have to check that because obviously they'll turn in hours that they didn't do. And we'll check into all that. But a great job with just the technology of getting, if there's a need for it, getting a blast out there on, through text, emails, and all that stuff. That there's a job site available, and these, when people request maybe a one-time or one weekend work, they need work for one weekend or whatever. So they do a good job of getting that information out to everyone. So it's gone really well.
Anything else for Mr. Latham? Thank you, sir.
That's it. Thank you.
Up next, the sheriff. We have a copy of his monthly report. Take a motion to approve that by Mr. Lowry, second by Miss Monday. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Oh boy, this could be long. He's got his laptop.
No. I actually forgot my paperwork on my desk. So I took my laptop from home and I'm in my computer, so I have my information. Okay. So
comments on your report, sir.
So really nothing out of the ordinary. Our local numbers are still similar, which we anticipated they would be. The number on the far right under the corrections A2 of a negative 1.4 million is about what we anticipated based on the number of out-of-county inmates we had. However, we did adjust Budget-wise, we made some adjustments, and I think our budget came in relatively good at the end of the year. So if you look down at the bottom where you have the housing, and the total for the salary reimbursements, the inmate telephones, and other inmate revenues, it came in at 10.3 million, which is an average of 859,000 a month, which is up almost 100,000 from 21 and 22, or fiscal year 22, and then down by about $140,000 a month fiscal year 23. So, you know, we knew that we weren't going to go over fiscal year 23 because, as I've said before, we only have so many cells that we can have out-of-county inmates in, but that number is down a little bit. So we'll continue to work on that and try to get those numbers back up if it's possible. We're hoping that the change of administration in Washington, D.C. will help that. And then if you look at the overdoses, again, I know Mr. Rowe mentioned it yesterday and today, and I know the coroner's here. You can see that last year we dealt with 9 overdoses, and this year, and this is only county's jurisdiction, so it's not countywide. Our staff had 2, our department had 2, and those were in the unincorporated areas. So with the numbers going down like they are, as everybody has said, the credit to the coroner's office, Bob and Eric, and what he's done. You know, in addition to the both police and fire out there responding and giving Narcan to those who are potentially overdosing, it's helped save a lot of lives. And again, all that has come from what Bob has done over the course of the last 10 years or so. I can tell you that we have, obviously our deputies have it. Hal have Narcan. We have Narcan at the jail. We've had a number of instances where new arrests have come in, and between the arresting officer and corrections, we are administering Narcan out in our Sally Port. So it's certainly an issue that is still out there, but we feel like it's getting better. And when that person comes into jail and is administered Narcan, when he walks out of jail, he can pick up a dose of Narcan on his way out. So we got that going for us. That's all I got on the report.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I have a question that was asked to me, and I mentioned it to you yesterday.
Yep.
If you would get a contract from the federal people, could we house prisoners?
Well, federal, we have federal people.
ICE program.
ICE. Under the current law, no. And the reason for that is under the New Way Forward Act, which is what was passed in Springfield, that prevents local county jails in Illinois from housing for ICE on civil detainers. So, and that's what ICE issues. ICE issues civil detainers. Anything criminal, obviously we can house. In fact, we have had a number of individuals who maybe were in this country illegally. They got arrested, and I don't even know if some are still there or not. Most of them probably have gotten out because of the Safety Act, but anything criminal we can certainly house. Civil, what happens normally when we get notified by we would get notified by ICE via fax that they are issuing a detainer on an individual who got arrested. We cannot honor that detainer, and this is under the New Way Forward Act. We cannot honor that detainer, so we can't hold them even if our courts release them. We can't honor that detainer and hold them further. We have to release them, and on top of that, we cannot even contact ICE and say, hey, this individual's ready to get out, if you want to come and get him. So that's Illinois. The ICE detainees that we had back in 2022 when we had to ship the ICE detainees out, right now are all being housed over in Indiana. So counties in Indiana reap the revenue from housing, and once again, our local taxpayers are left holding the bag.
Any other questions for the sheriff? Ms. Earps?
I received a call from a lady last week in regards to hygiene at the jail. I returned a phone call, never heard back from her, but she said she was going to be contacting a few other people on the board, so I just felt like I needed to bring it because she
Yeah, so that actually, I think the chairman got a text, and he forwarded that text. Hygiene's issued every day. It's, you have to understand, a lot of times when people are in jail and they have mommy, they call mommy and let mommy feel sorry for him, and then mommy calls and says, oh, my son's not doing this, oh, he's getting treated so bad. That's been going on for years. So we address it. I appreciate it. I mean, and if she has any questions, she can certainly call us. I don't know if she tried to.
Number. I returned a phone call and gave her your not the the county number.
You know what? You can give her my cell phone number. I don't care. I mean, it's you know, we're not keeping any hygiene away. Believe me, the people who are working there don't want to smell them either. So.
I know. Just had to report it.
Mr. Hunter?
Sheriff, could you convey to the new membership, you guys are just not detainees, but while you have the inmates there, they accrue some benefits in terms of thinking for a change. There have been opportunities that in which efforts have been made to even find employment for some of the inmates. For example, I know I'm on KCRO board, and they've been able to even have people be hired at Ford Motor Company. Could you convey some of the other ancillary services that you guys provide?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Mr. Hunter. I think, you know, a lot of people think that the jail is just there to warehouse people, and I know that our staff, you know, looks at it a different way, because we understand that the majority of those individuals, for whatever reason they're in jail, they're going to be released back into our community, most of them. So it's beneficial for individuals who come in to try to get something that they may need, whether that's drug counseling, whether it's, as Mr. Hunter referred to, Thinking for a Change, which is a 26-week program that has been very successful. We try to reach out to local businesses as our employment issues arise. You know, we're all dealing with short staffing. So, you know, we're trying to get these individuals back receiving benefits, pay, making them tax-paying citizens. I mean, that's where we all benefit from. So we do a lot of programming. We have programs going virtually all day. We have KCC out there, and I don't know if we've had anybody recently receive their GED, but I know that they are in the process of testing a handful of those who have gone through the GED program. So, I mean, those are all benefits that coming out of jail may help them, because like I said, the majority of them, 98% of them, are going to be back out in the community, and instead of doing what they may have done to get in jail, maybe they'll do something different and find a job that will kind of keep them out of trouble and, you know, keep them with their family. Yeah, our medical department, we have a great medical department for the new members. I know the old members here or the experienced members, I don't want to call them old members, the experienced members have heard me say this before. The inmates who are in our custody receive better care in the jail than anybody sitting in this room. And the philosophy behind that is jail medical is an issue that is a public health issue. And so we want individuals who come into our jail better off health-wise when they leave than when they came in. A lot of the individuals who do come in don't take care of themselves out on the street for one reason or another. Maybe they don't care, maybe they don't feel they have access to it, maybe they feel like they can't afford it. So, I mean, we spend a lot of money on our medical department. As if you take a look at our budget, it's a good part of our budget. But I think in the long run, for the benefit of our county, I think it's well worth it. So we're very proud of our medical department. We've actually had 2 counties recently, bigger counties, who have come to our jail to observe our medical department because they actually contract with, I don't know what you call them, corporate health people who come in and do their jail. And one thing, when you hear the word corporate, you know that they're looking to make money. And so they may cut corners, they may do some things. We have never contracted with an outside vendor for healthcare. We've always had our own. And some of the larger jails are now realizing that that may be a benefit to them because they've been here to observe, they've looked at our budget, they've looked at our numbers, and we're comparable size to those jails with, we have 700 beds. Some of these jails were 800 and 900 bed jails that have come to look at our healthcare. So, like I said, we're proud of it. We're proud of what we do with the medical, and hopefully we'll be able to continue to do that.
You might want to mention for the new members too, the person that does the medical billing type.
Yeah, I know. I actually got a text from our new auditor the other day, and I won't tell you verbatim what it said because I probably can't say it. The FCC might have a problem with it. However, in the month of November, we have a person who does the coding for medical bills, and hospitals aren't always accurate with their codes. And in the month of November, she saved the county $44,000. So benefit to her, credit to her. She does an outstanding job. I mean, she is all over the billing, and she's been here 5 years, I believe, and I think she has saved us slightly over $1 million in those 5 years. So we don't want to lose her.
That's what just happens behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, and I know everybody else has said, come and see their department. You are always welcome to come out to our administration building. We'll take you through the jail if you want. We'll even let you out when we're done. And just to see what they do. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people go by what they see on TV, and I'll guarantee you that our detectives, as much as we'd like to, don't solve crimes in an hour like they do on TV. So everybody's welcome to come out and take a tour of the facility, see what we got, see what we offer, and we're open to any suggestions that you may have as well.
Mr. Hunter.
Thank you very much. Sheriff Johnny, could you share with the new members about the law enforcement NAACP, some of the attendees who come those every other month at Jerome Combs, mayors, attorneys, community-based organizations, a lot of different diverse groups. We even have people from other counties, Peoria, Danville, who come and check out our meetings, and they're live streaming as well too. So.
Well, you kind of told them who all comes.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
But firsthand, though.
Yeah, no. Our relationship, law enforcement's relationship in Kankakee County, you should know, is excellent. And I think the important thing is and everybody sees it on TV, the bashing the police thing, all that stuff. I mean, we reached out, and this was back in 2015 after Ferguson, Missouri happened. And one of the things that we both agreed back then was we don't want Kankakee to potentially be a Ferguson. And so we sat down with the NAACP at the time it was just local police chiefs and myself, and we talked through a number of issues. And as over the course of time, now going on 10 years, it has been expanded as Mr. Hunter said. Our local mayors show up, the state's attorney's involved, community members who are involved with and I think somebody referred to the crisis response team earlier, which are members of the community who are not pro NAACP, they're not pro law enforcement, they're just members of the community because as was mentioned earlier, sometimes social media goes wild with all kinds of things that may not be accurate. And so this crisis response team is basically set in place and responds when things happen to kind of be that buffer to say, here's what happened. Doesn't mean that police aren't going to make a mistake. Doesn't mean that the NAACP is right, but it's just that buffer, and it's worked really well. I know they've been utilized a handful of times for various incidents that have happened, and we were glad they were there. So we're proud of that. We've said for years that, you know, this model of cooperation with both law enforcement and the NAACP is something that they should look at nationwide because it's very much needed. So,
could you also tell them about the venues in which you've presented, like the Illinois Police Chiefs Association, the Sheriff's Association?
Yeah, so the police chiefs have their own little conference, and the sheriffs have their own little conference, and I was fortunate to be part of both in talking about what we do and passing along and trying to let other chiefs know, other sheriffs know how important it is for them to reach out and establish that relationship. And both of those trainings went over very well. So we're very happy with our relationship and looking forward to it to continue.
Anything else for the sheriff?
One more thing, I just want to go over staffing quickly with the jail. We have, I believe, 106 current correctional officers, which is about 10 or so short. With our numbers, though, we're kind of hanging where we're at. But we do have two who are currently deployed overseas in the military, and we don't expect them back till like June or August. So, but they are obviously they will have their job when they get back. And then we also have a couple who have paternity or maternity leaves. So there's probably another 6 total that are gone right now, including the military and the between the maternity, paternity, and I think we have 1 or 2 off-duty injuries that were not work comp. So that's all I got. This computer thing's kind of nice. Right. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Okay. Up next, Animal Control, Carrie Laird. In your package, you have a copy of Carrie's monthly report. Take a motion to approve that by Mr. Lowry, second by Mr. Long. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning.
New members are all looking for puppies or
Great.
kittens,
Come
too.
see me today, 134 Mooney Drive. We have dogs and cats available. In all seriousness, no, please come and see us. We'll be more than happy to show you around the new building, even the old building if you'd like to see that as well. For the report, I don't have much of anything. I do have the October IP tip. I don't have November yet. I can give you those numbers. October is $133,510.20. That's going to pay for our loan for next year. That's what the IP tip is. Originally, that was set aside to build a new building. We did use funds out of that to build the building. This is just leftover funds, and that will pay for the loan for next year.
Great.
I don't really have much for the report.
Any questions on our report? We have a motion to second. All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Anything else?
No?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, Amanda. Oh.
Amanda, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Is there any
Miss Hart.
is there any specials this month for if they adopt a dog because it's the holidays or?
We are still working with the Realtors to the Rescue, and there are some animals that are still adoptable for $75. Some other businesses are starting to jump on as well. So they're between $150 to $75 for the adoptables. So, yep, thank you.
Oh no. I have one.
Mr. Hunter.
Mr. Hunter, I'm
Thank you
sorry.
very much. Kelly, do you know when you'll be showcasing to carry your new edifice there? Because I know I always had some concerns about not having enough parking space there. You heard me articulate my concerns because I know you're going to be showcasing and you'll have regional meetings, state meetings, and have students come in. And I think you said that there's ample opportunity for parking down the street.
Yeah, we don't technically have students or schools come by because we're animal control. We our more control is more focus is on rabies control, and we have some animals there that are under rabies quarantine. We don't want to have students coming by. We don't have the public coming by for a lot of those reasons. Now, when the animals come, when the people come in through to look for adoptables, we bring the dogs up front rather than having them bring the humans in the back. It's easier for the dogs to come up front. So eventually we will have some kind of a public opening. We just wanted to get settled this year and everything figured out. So we will have some kind of opening next year though.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, Coroner's Office, Mr. Gessner. In package you have a copy of his monthly report and the monthly receipts and money. Take a motion to combine and approve them. Ms. Andrade, second by Ms. Monday. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chairman.
Comments on your report, sir?
Well, just to show you, this is what I usually work off of for the new people that are on the board. This tells me basically to let you know that the number of calls we have and the number of autopsies that we do and toxicology, x-rays, these are things that we all do, but it talks about natural homicide, suicide, accidental, and undetermined is where the coroner has to do make that judgment. So I stay pretty good fit with all of the calls that we have, along with my chief deputy, and I'll take any questions on that. And basically, you'll see down at the end there we have 5 pending. Everything's been cleared so far, other than the ODs right now. So we should have a better information for you as the January comes up on a final report, probably. So,
any questions on Bob's report? We have a motion to second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
So our annual report should be completed, as I said, by next January. We have 2 pending cases yet. Just to let you know, we were low on body bags. We had to order 400 in late October. They'll last at least 4 to 5 years. Our total was $14,640. However, we partnered with Will County to do a bulk order with them so we could get the price lower. We ended up with $11,134 and what's a saving of almost $3,500, which was great to be able to do that with Will County, and they saved over $1,000. So putting everything together so far, looks like we'll be 8% to 10% under budget for 24. The body bags are already calculated in that percentage, so we're happy to do that. Give money back when we can give money back. Usually we can't count on how many deaths we're going to have, but yet when we're under there, we make sure that the money goes back to the county also. My ODs are, as Jim mentioned yesterday at the county board there, we had 18 cases with 2 pending still. So pending doesn't mean that definitely going to be there. We wait till the toxicology comes back. Our average age in the county is 50 years of age. That's kind of shocking to a lot of people, because in all the places we go to talk, nobody ever hits it. You know, they're always hitting 18, 20, 25. Youngest is at 30, oldest is at 69, 14 males, 4 females, 11 Caucasians, 6 African Americans, and 1 Hispanic. Other than that, still roughly into the high 80% is fentanyl. We're working extremely hard on trying to get fentanyl to people out there, to the public, to let them know how powerful that drug is. And we're working on xylazine, which is another veterinarian drug that's in the county. Luckily, we only had 1 problems with that this year here, but still we're working on that through Jackie Haas and Pat Joyce on that, to try to get that taken care of a little different than what it is. Other than that, cocaine's involved with it. We're seeing a little bit more meth coming into our county, but as of right now, we've gone from 2022 to 51, 2023 to 34, and proud to say that 2024 to 18, and pending, 2 pending. So, great. Other than that, as of right now, we've had 2 pending cases from our beginning of our budget already, from December 1st until December 9th. We've had 2 pending overdoses. I'll take any questions on that aspect there.
Questions?
I'll also like to say that with the opioid settlement, as Jim said there, that maybe I get more money, Jim, from you, so, since I kind of whipped you.
Anything?
Anyhow, that's just a joke between him and I.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Other than that, that's it.
Thank you.
Oh, incidentally, anybody that wants to come out to the morgue to see a tour of the morgue, you don't have to lay down. You just have to go walk through there and learn exactly what we do and why it takes so long. As the sheriff said, that we just don't get that back in an hour like TV does. It takes 4 to 6 weeks to get back to toxicology. So we do the best of our ability to let the family know what's going on at all times. So thank you very much.
Hang on, Mr. Hunter.
Bobby, what, can you give them the new members your background? I've known you since the 70s when you were with Kankakee City and fire department. Can you just tell them what you've done, what your history is?
What my history is?
Yeah.
Well, I was a city fireman from 1969 to 1999. I went at that 1984. I was asked to become a deputy coroner. I took that for right around 18 years that I was involved with that. In 2000, when I retired, I was offered the chief deputy's job. I took that full time, and then the Dr. Kelly, who was the coroner at that time, decided that's not what he wanted to do. So I got elected by the county board, and then ran in 2004. And since that, I'm just finished my 6th term or my 5th term, and working on my 6th. So I'll be there another 4 years. So other than that, thank you. Merry Christmas to all. And anytime you got questions, anytime. And I want to thank my chief deputy, because he's my right hand. He's with me at all times. So it's not only the coroner, it's also him. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there any old business come before the committee? Any old business? Any old business, I'd like to make a motion. Oh, you're out of line. Mr. Carrico? Motion to adjourn, second by Mr. Lowy. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.